Hi, and welcome back to Prime Property. I'm Marissa Turner, and today we've been doing our tour of homes with Tigertown Realty, and now we're in the office with Shannon Andre and Annette Leon to ask about property management. Now, not every realtor offers a property management service, and certainly nobody offers the kinds of services that you guys do. I mean, we have a list of services that y'all take care of for property management. Things that most people who say, oh, I'd like to get into the rental property business would never think of, because y'all have seen just about everything in real estate.
That's right, Marissa.
We were talking about that before we got on camera, and there's some stuff that you would never realize that goes on in real estate. So they're here to help you not trip over yourself in rental property. Right. So I guess my first question is, let's say I wanted to purchase a rental house, but I don't want to deal with having to collect money from the tenants and stuff, because that's usually pretty difficult. How do I get started with you? I say, okay, here's my rental house. You do it.
Well, basically, we just recently started this division of Tigertown Realty, the property management division. Annette Leon's pretty much spearheaded the whole thing, and Brenda David's going to handle a certain portion of it too in different areas. Annette's going to handle East Baton Rouge Parish, Ascension Parish, and Brenda's going to handle like the Central, Baker, Zachary, those areas as well. So I'm just going to hand it over to Annette and let her give you the scoop.
Okay.
Yeah, property management is not for the faint of heart.
No.
There are a lot of legal ramifications that you have to make sure that you're covered. And that's really what we've been trying to do here at Tigertown Realty, to take that burden off of the owner of the property and do what they want their rental properties to do, make them money.
Right,
okay?
exactly.
So that's why we're here. Getting the property owner on board, letting them know, first of all, what is your property valued at as far as a rental property, and then taking it from listing it, marketing it, screening and placing a tenant, and then collecting that rent, and then giving the owner all of the documentation they need for tax purposes all the way down the road. So basically what they do is they get a check every month.
Right, and a lot of people think, oh, it's just so easy, I just have one or two properties, I'll take care of it myself. But then they find out that dealing with tenants is not always the easiest thing to do, or finding tenants.
Right.
You know? They think, oh, I'll just put a little ad out and everything will be hunky-dory. Well, that's where you come in and you help find these people, screen these people, make sure they're paying their money, and then also dealing with them so that tenants aren't constantly calling owners saying, I need a light bulb, I need this, I need that.
Right.
Right. Okay, so what is a typical thing that you would do for an owner of a rental property who's having issues with a rental house?
Well, there's all different. There's not one straight easy answer with that.
Yeah.
Because, what we would hope that we could do is come on board with that owner from the very beginning, and then really get our tenant in there and place them so we know what we have, getting our leases in place to protect the tenant as well as the owner.
Absolutely.
Because everything is fine and dandy until it all goes wrong.
Right,
okay?
yeah.
So, yes, if you have someone and you've been very lucky and there's nothing, going wrong,
You're very fortunate.
You're very fortunate.
Yeah.
Because that's just, it's not the way the world works. And especially the more properties that you have, the more you open yourself up to where, you have to make sure that you're doing everything possible and everything correct.
Right.
So that's what we would do. If we take on a landlord that already has tenants in place, we're going to do the same thing. We're going to come in, we're going to screen those tenants, we're going to look at those leases, we're going to look at, what he's doing as far as repair, getting those escrows up to where they need to be, and getting them into our process of the way we handle things, But we are full service property management, which means that there is someone there answering that call 24 hours a day, 7 days a week for whatever that tenant may have a problem with. And then, communicating with our owners on whatever program that we have set them up on. So it's a very personal, hands-on, working out what our owners want from us.
Right.
And then as well as we have a high standard of the quality of rentals that we want to deal with. I want to make sure that I have a quality rental to offer my tenant.
Right.
And also I want to make sure that my landlord is a quality landlord that's going to give me the property that I can actually rent and be confident in.
Right.
So it's working all the way around, a little bit different approach to property management. Very selective in what we're dealing with to offer the best and highest quality service to everybody involved.
Okay, and you have a whole big list here. So let's kind of go through some of the things that you do. I see right here the handle rental inquiries and things like that, and then also checking on vacant properties too.
Yes, a minimum of like a once a week drive by on a vacant property, just because you just have to make sure that everything is the way it should be. We do ask that the utilities do remain on in our vacant properties. We also advertise them on the multiple listing system, which that is the Realtor website. So all realtors are able to bring us clients and also get compensation for that. Also putting that property on our personal websites and making sure that it's out there, being advertised for rental, and then monitoring that, showing that, making it available to be seen.
Right.
It's not just a rental. It's kind of like the kitten that never goes away. You're always there. You got to feed it. You got to take care of it. You got to make sure that everything is as it should be. Making sure that the maintenance is where it needs to be.
Right.
So it's I get very close with a lot of my landlords and my tenants because I am that face that they're seeing time and time again.
Right. And most landlords, they're doing this as a side thing for money. They have a regular job that they can't just drop everything and go and deal with tenants and stuff like that. So that's where a service like y'all would really
either that, or we also have investors that do this full time, where we might sell you something and then turn around and we're leasing that property, and then we're going to property manage that for you as well. So not just the part-time person, we actually have people that do this for for their full-time job and profession.
And you do sell the investment properties as well. I mean, because anything can become an investment property.
Real estate,
yeah, pretty much.
And that's where another thing where we step into this, and Tigertown being an innovative and forward-moving company, we're always trying to tap the market and see what is it that our clients are asking from us. And this is one of those things, because I do have a lot of investors that I work with, and they're like, okay, Annette, I'm building this investment portfolio, and I don't want to be personally involved with that. I want to step back. I want you to take over this for me. And at that point, I was like, wow, I really do need to grasp this and talk to Shannon, and let's see if we can form something to deal with this to meet those needs. So again,
this has not been just something sporadic. It's been a year in planning and progress.
So and again, having an idea, but then going forward and saying, okay, what are the legal parameters? What do we need to handle on that professional level to get this up and where it needs to be a real force in this, and not just have a whole bunch of properties, but the properties that we do have, they are quality and we manage them well.
Right, and you take care of your tenants here. I'm seeing things in this list like where you keep tenant security deposits and trust accounts so that the tenant never has to worry about, okay, well, I did everything I was supposed to do. Where is my deposit while I spent it?
Well, everything is, again, we are following Louisiana law, mandates, regulations. Those rental escrows must be held in separate accounts. So, again, this has been a year plus in the planning just so we can set up the business appropriately and follow those, put that money where it needs to be, get the screening process down. Just the fact of, whenever they give us the ability to run credits and background checks, which we do on all of our clients, we've been investigated by the proper state authorities, so we have a secure system where we store those documents and information. So it's not just something that you just go, oh, I think I'm going to do property management today. It doesn't quite work like that. So, everything from getting our documentation down to our walkthroughs, to our photo documentation of the property, to our exit interviews, to how we, just the lease itself. We've spent, I can't tell you how much time on that lease to get it very tight and specific. A lot of attorneys involved. Yes.
Landlord.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yes.
So how does somebody get in touch with you to ask more questions about, hey, I've got this investment property, or I'm looking for investment property? Because, you'll have so many listings and everything right now that would be really good for that. And you could let people know, okay, well, this one you'd be able to charge this much rent and all that kind of thing. And let them know these would be your profitable ones here, and this is what we could do for you. How do they get in touch with you to find out all that?
Well, they can always contact myself directly on my cell phone at 225-235-1152. They could also visit my website, and I do have a tab on my website now with property management that has a link to frequently asked owners questions. a copy of our application, also our screening verification. It's the actual screening sheet that scores if you are eligible to qualify or not. And that is at www.buywiththenet.com. And then again, getting back to about the properties themselves, when it comes down to it, Shannon and I are professional full-time realtors. This is all we do. And we do spend a lot of time with bank-owned properties, with properties in distress, which are wonderful properties to get into these investors' hands to turn into rental properties, which again, that is our basis of where we're coming from. So that is, we're very comfortable with the very high dollar houses, and we're also very comfortable with the ones that aren't so pretty. You know, we don't have we have a very strong stomach for those things. We can see past it and say, let's look at the comparables of what this neighborhood is going to bring. And then for our investors to be able to say, what is your investment plan? Are you trying to flip this house quickly? Are you trying to buy and hold this house? What is your, what do you, where are you with this? Are you in and you out? Or you want to hold on and see what that neighborhood's going to look like in a few years? So, really getting into those nuts and bolts of real estate, and that's what we love to do. That's
Absolutely.
what we do. And then this is a product of us building all of those investment and rental properties. We had to do something with them. Let's put it that way.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And of course, the number at the office here is 755-7022, or you can go to their website at tigertownrealty.com. And if you want to find out how to take the stress out of being a tenant or a landlord, rental property in general, you call these ladies and they will help you out. Now, I'll tell you what, when we come back, we're going to show you another property with Annette Leon here on Prime Property. Stay tuned.